Welcome everybody. Look here. I want you to watch this whole video because it's going to be a good one. In this video, I'm going to talk about the fact that African Americans are the children of God. Black people, black Americans are the children of God. We are the true Israelites of God, the Israelites of the Old Testament. We are the bloodline descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are related. We are the same bloodline as Moses and Aaron and Elijah and Eliah. Obadiah, Isaiah, uh, Jeremiah, Solomon, the wise King Solomon, the mighty King David. We are the same bloodline. We are the people. Our ancestors wrote the Bible, and the writers of the Bible and the Israelites and the people in the Bible were black. Think about it, because let me just go over something one thing at a time. Stick around. I want you to watch this whole video, especially for people who don't know this. Okay, this book here is called The Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa, and it's written by the European Stephen Jacobs. And in this book, let me read it. It says, fully documented, Jacobs, a European and historian, confirms the presence of black Hebrews and Israelites throughout the length and breadth of the motherland. Okay, centuries ago and now. So all throughout from north to south of Africa, all the way from the north to the south, and going from east to the west, the Africa has had Israelites, been filled with Israelites, and Israelites have been throughout all of Africa. And the majority of people in sub-Saharan Africa are Israelites, the race known as Negroes. Let's read the back of this book. It says, a Black history book. The Hebrews, Israelites of biblical times, who and where are their descendants today? Stephen S. Jacobs, a European and historian, tells it like it was in this documentary, which proves conclusively that most people of African descent living in America and other parts of the Western Hemisphere as a result of the African slave trade are offspring of the ancient Israelites. Did you hear that? The descendants of the Atlantic, the African slave trade. And some people, and it's also known, part of it, a great deal of it is known as the transatlantic slave trade. And the people who were sent are the offspring of the ancient Israelites. The Israelites went in from Israel through Egypt, and then through Egypt and the rest of East Africa. The Israelites went to different parts of Africa, and many of them went to West Africa and settled throughout all of West Africa. And then you had migrations of the Israelites to the East Africa and to Central Africa and all the way to South Africa. And so we're talking about hundreds of millions of people in the past and now. Right now, Africa has hundreds of millions of people of the race known as Israelites. That would include the race known as Negroes that are West Africans, such as the Ashanti people. They're all related. The Ashanti, the Ewe, the Yoruba, the Igbo, the Wolof, the Mandinka, the Dan people, and the Moshi people. I mean, and it goes on and on. In the Bakongo people, the Baluba people, in Congo, and all the way the Zulus, and the Kosa people, and the Vinda, and the Songa people, the Swana people, the who are Bantus, the Shona people, go and the Tikar people are all. I could keep going. There's so many, and the so Okay, this book is called From Babylon to Timbuktu, written by the Black American Dr. Rudolph R. Windsor, and he's an expert in Judaism and in Hebrew. He's in the language and so on and so forth. He knows about all of this in the Black Hebrews. And so on page 132, oh, I'm sorry, and I recommend it. A lot of people have gotten this book and learned from it. People of all races, and it's very reasonable. Okay, so page 132. Let me read a little bit to understand. Doctor, this is the second paragraph. Dr. Alan H. Godbey postulates the position that black Jews were on the West African coast from Senegal to Angola, and they, the Israelites, were driven to this area from central Sudan by Muslim propagandism. So the people who were spreading Islam were trying to force or forcing Islam upon our people. And so the more that the Islamic raiders came, the more our people kept going and going deeper into West Africa and other places. Okay, having a knowledge of the black Israelites in the United States, Dr. Godbey arrived at this conclusion. These facts have peculiar significance when the presence of Judaism among the American Negroes is to be considered. Hundreds of thousands of slaves were brought to America from this Western Africa during the days of the traffic, beginning nearly 400 years ago. How much more of the Judaism survived among the West African Negroes in the earlier time? Okay, so it's asking a question. So understand the American the race. So there's a lot of different type black people in the world, dark skinned people, but there may be people who look similar to us, but the Negro, there's only one Negro race. We're different from all other black people, okay? So we were called Negroes and realized that the word Negro is synonymous with Israelite. Anywhere that we were sent, the descendants of the slave trade, the West Africans, and the Bantus who are related, who are the same people as the West Africans, the race known as Negroes, who were sent to South America, the Caribbean islands, Central America, Mexico, north of the parts of North America, the UK, Europe, the ones who have been sent into the Arab slave trade, the ones in different parts of Asia, India, Australia, wherever our people at who are Negroes are Israelites. Always remember that. If the person's a Negro of the Negro race, they are the children of God, the children of Yahweh, the God of the Israelites of the Old Testament of the Bible. And this is for real. Okay? So, now, as persecuted communities, the Israelites, they were rather more in danger than the other Negroes or other peoples, black peoples, of being raided by war parties and sold as slaves. It may be considered certain that many partially Judaized Negroes were among the slaves brought to America. So what they're saying is that these are the bloodline Israelites. In their culture, you will find remnants, many things of the cultures of these Israelites, West Africans, that are are straight from the Old Testament of the Bible. What they are doing is Judaism, their worship of their God, the traditions, the way that their peoples are governed, the priesthood and the kings, and so forth, in marriages, in circumcisions, in their way of worship, their language. They speaking a form of Hebrew. That's what it's saying. They are Judaized partially. So that means that they may not be they're culturally as strong as they were in biblical times, but their Judaism and their bloodline of being the Israelites remain. Okay, so Let's see, it may be considered certain that many partially Judaized Negroes were among the slaves brought to America. Okay, page 133. Before Dr. Godbey published his book, and he's a very well, Godbey is a very well known expert on the African Israelites, and he knows in the American. Let me keep, but he's very any book that deals with the Black Israelites, African descendants, will have will mention Dr. Godbey because he's it. He's a strong source. Okay, so before Dr. Godbey published his book, The Lost Tribes of Myth, Rabbi Matthew organized a Hebrew congregation in 1918 proclaimed that the black people of the United States and the West Indies are the original black Hebrews. Yes, did you hear that? Another of the Lost Tribes of Myth, that's a very popular book for awakening Hebrews. Rabbi Matthew organized a Hebrew congregation in 1918 and proclaimed that the black people of the United States and the West Indies are the original black Hebrews. Praise Yahweh. So this is maybe a surprise to many people, but it is real. In our history has been hidden from us and from the world to keep us from knowing and the world from knowing who we are. But just like the Bible says, Almighty God Yahweh is awakening us. He's calling his children back and heed the call. Okay, he listened to because and take this very seriously. Okay, so that would include, okay, so it says, so Rabbi Matthew proclaims that the black people of the United States and the West Indies are the original black Hebrews. So we were taken from West Africa and from different places, Central Africa and Southwestern Africa, into the slave trade. So if we're Israelites, it also means that the Africans that we were taken from are Israelites too. Realize that the people, our brothers and sisters are Jamaicans. The Haitians are our brothers and sisters. The Afro-Cubans, the Afro-Puerto Ricans, the Afro-Mexicans, the Afro-Brazilians, the Afro-Colombians, the Afro-Peruvians, and it goes on and on. The people of the Caribbean islands, the Antigua, Barbados, Trinidad, and Grenada, and so on and so forth, are all Israelites. We are all related. We are all the children of God. We are the Israelites of the Old Testament. Let me continue. There are hundreds of thousands of Black American Hebrews, and it was really millions. This book was written years ago, a couple of decades ago, but it says there are hundreds of thousands of Black American Hebrews scattered throughout the United States, not only in the urban areas, but also in the rural communities of this nation, with the revelation of ample historical evidence. The authenticity of these black Hebrews can no longer be questioned. However, in regard to the purity of their Judaism, let me stop right there. So, but here's what before this video ends, this is what is important to get. That scattered throughout the United States, not only in the urban areas, the rural communities of this nation, with the revelation of ample historical evidence, the authenticity of these black Hebrews can no longer be questioned. We have too much proof. The proof is endless. I was shocked. Many of us are shocked when we find out how much proof that there is that we're the Israelites of God. It says, okay, so realize a great many of the Negroes or living in Africa or the black people have Hebrew names. They're speaking a form of Hebrew. They have Hebrew languages. They're calling their God is the Hebrew God Yahweh all over Africa. And so realize that the people related to African Americans and African Americans are the Israelites, the children of God, Yahweh. Peace and blessings to you.